Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put those baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alright, here we go. Here are the games for Tuesday, Major League Baseball. First up, we've got the Astros and the Tigers. We've got Hunter Brown and Tarek Skubal as the projected starters. Great pitching matchup in this one. Two of the best American League starters going at it. This game 6:40 Eastern on TBS. This is a tough game from a betting perspective. I am going to lean towards the under, as obvious as it may seem. I think both starting pitchers put together quality outings. Both are in good form. They've both got great numbers against the opposition. You look at the Houston Astros, the lineup that's hit lefties quite well over the years and in 2025, but in the month of August, just so-so numbers. You could argue below league average numbers against left-handed pitching, and you're facing the best lefty in baseball. And on the flip side, the Tigers have been a little bit inconsistent against right-handed pitching in the month of August as well. 17th in the league in team OPS against righties with a pretty steep strikeout rate at 25%. So give me the under in Astros-Tigers. Should be a great game to watch. Next up, we've got the Cardinals and the Marlins. We've got Michael McGreevy and Edward Cabrera as the starters. I know Cabrera struggled in his most recent outing, but he's been really sharp at Lone Depot Park this season. I think he can get the run support in this game against Michael McGreevy and the Cardinals bullpen. McGreevy was pitching well, but he has been regressing a little bit as of late. We saw in his most recent game a quality start on paper, 6 innings, 3 runs, but only 2 strikeouts, 7 base hits given up. That makes it 4 of his last 5 games, 7+ base hits given up, and that was against the Rockies at home, the worst lineup in baseball when it comes to their road offense. So even a quality start there is not that impressive. It ended up being a 6-5 Rockies win. So I got to roll with the Marlins in this one on the money line in Lone Depot Park. Next up, we've got the Blue Jays and the Pirates. We've got Max Scherzer and Mitch Keller as the starters. And Max Scherzer's in great form right now. 4 straight quality starts, and he faced some tough lineups, the Tigers, the Dodgers, and the Cubs along the way in 3 of those 4 games. And 2 of those 4 starts, he went 7+ innings. So even in his age 41 season, Scherzer looking like vintage Scherzer, despite not having the consistent strikeout numbers anymore. He's had 5 strikeouts or less in his last 3 starts. But I think Scherzer pitches well. I mean, he's got great numbers against his current Pirates lineup in 84 plate appearances with a 37% strikeout rate, low walk rate, and a 227 xWOBA. On the flip side, though, Mitch Keller, while he struggled in his most recent game, that was on the road against the Brewers, a team that's really crushed Keller over the years. He now returns home where he's been better on the season. He's got good numbers against the current Blue Jays lineup. I think he bounces back, and I think we go under the total in Blue Jays Pirates. Next up, we've got the New York Mets and the Washington Nationals. We've got David Peterson and Jake Irvin as the starters. And the Nationals in the month of August, not great numbers against left-handed pitching. You know, David Peterson threw a complete game shutout against Washington earlier in the year. I know he struggled in his most recent game, but I think he bounces back in this one against a team and a lineup that he's pitched well against in the past with great numbers against the current Nationals roster. Jake Irvin, one of the steeper expected ERAs in Major League Baseball, already an ERA above 5 on the year. He faced this Mets lineup earlier in the season, 5 innings, 4 runs, 2 home runs, and a 5-0 Mets victory. I think we see the Mets get to him again. They had a great end to that series against the Mariners. I think they carry over that momentum to this game in this series. Give me the Mets in this one on the money line and run line. Next up, we've got the Seattle Mariners and the Philadelphia Phillies. We've got Bryce Miller and Christopher Sanchez as the starters. Now, Bryce Miller making his first start back at the Major League level since June the 6th. He had a couple of rehab starts and did give up 4 home runs and about 13 innings of work in those minor league rehab starts. That's a concern. You're facing a Phillies lineup that's been great offensively in August. They've got one of the best home run hitters in the league in Kyle Schwarber. So I don't really love the matchup for Miller, who struggled overall this season with an ERA above 5. And then you got Christopher Sanchez on the other side, one of the better pitchers in the National League this year. For me, I got to roll with the Phillies in this one on the money line at home. Next up, we've got the Orioles and the Red Sox. We've got Walker Buehler and Tomoyuki Sugano as the starters. And Sugano's first career start against the Red Sox, first career start at Fenway Park. Don't really love the matchup for him. Doesn't have the best numbers on the road this season. The underlying numbers aren't the best, and I know the Red Sox have not been great against right-handed pitching in the month of August, but at a hitter-friendly ballpark and with those regression concerns for Sugano, I just don't like the matchup here for him. And on the other side, Walker Buehler faced the Orioles earlier in the season had 5 innings of 2-run ball, but did give up a home run. Ended up being a 5-1 Orioles win. Buehler's been very inconsistent this season. He struggled in his last game against the Astros, gave up a couple of home runs and 4 earned runs. Overall, in August, he's pitched pretty well, but I just can't see him getting through this innings, spotless. I think the Orioles will be able to get a few runs on the board early, and then it comes down to the bullpens. The Red Sox bullpen, I think, is one of the better ones in the league. The Orioles, not so much, but I still don't necessarily want to back Walker Buehler at this kind of price, so I think that the better play is on the over. I think we see a lot of runs early and some runs late as well, so give me the over in Red Sox-Orioles. Next up, we've got the White Sox and the Braves. We've got Shane Smith and Bryce Elder as the starters. It seems like we've taken the White Sox quite a few times recently and hasn't always paid off in those situations, but this is another spot where I think the White Sox are the play here. As Bryce Elder's still not a starting pitcher that I'm looking to back right now. He's got an ERA just below 6 on the season, but above 6 at 6.6 at home this year in about 50 innings of work. And you got Shane Smith on this side, who's been pitching like the Shane Smith we saw at the beginning of the year. He struggled right around the All-Star break and his first start after the All-Star break, but now his last 2 games, 10 innings of 2-run ball with 13 strikeouts against 2 playoff teams in the Mariners and the Tigers. So while the White Sox weren't able to back him up offensively in those games against good pitching teams, now you're facing Bryce Elder and not so great Braves bullpen. So I think the White Sox will compete offensively and pick up the win in this game. Next up, we've got the Yankees and the Rays. We've got Carlos Rodon and Shane Baz as the starters. Now, we know it's been a tough year for Shane Baz, an ERA just below 5. I still think he does have a lot of potential in this league, but 2025 just hasn't been kind to him, and he struggled at Steinbrenner Field, especially with the home run ball, and you're facing a tough Yankees lineup now, a lineup that's been able to get to Baz in the past. He's got a low strikeout rate, a high walk rate, and a very steep expected slugging percentage against this current Yankees lineup. And then you look at the fact that Carlos Rodon's got great numbers against the Rays. The Rays have not been great against left-handed pitching in the month of August. I know the Rays have a stellar bullpen, but I don't think it's going to be enough in this one. Give me the Yankees on the money line and run line on the road. Next up, we've got the Athletics and the Twins. We've got Jacob Lopez and Joe Ryan as the starters. Now, I've mentioned many times, I think Joe Ryan's been one of the more underrated pitchers in the American League this year because despite his team's struggles, Ryan's put together some great numbers in 2025. But with that being said, how can you go against Jacob Lopez right now? He's been one of the more profitable pitchers in Major League Baseball since the month of June. In his 12 starts since June, the A's are 10-2 in Jacob Lopez starts, and that includes 3 victories in the month of August where Lopez did not give up a single run in any of those games. 19 2/3, 24 strikeouts, no runs, and only 2 walks to go with it. And you could argue it's the Nationals, the Diamondbacks, and the Rays, not great lineups against left-handed pitching, but the Twins in their current form, not a lineup that I'm too scared about. Lopez is just pitching the best baseball of the season for him. And it's also the A's lineup that has been great against right-handed pitching in the month of August. They're top 10 in both OPS and ISO against righties. So I'm going to roll with the Athletics in this one on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the Kansas City Royals taking on the Texas Rangers. We've got Merrill Kelly and Seth Lugo as the starters. I mentioned last time Lugo pitched that, I've mentioned those regression concerns in his game and got a lot of pushback. There's a lot of Seth Lugo fans out there, but we saw him struggle yet again in his last start. 6 earned runs, 7 total runs with 2 bombs and 4 innings against the Nationals. Now against the Twins and the Nationals, not necessarily great teams, Lugo's given up in his last 8 innings of work, 13 earned runs, 4 home runs, and 6 walks with only 3 strikeouts to go with it. He's gone less than 6 innings in 4 straight outings. I think he's in trouble yet again in this spot. I think that Merrill Kelly is a much better option, and I think that right now you just can't back Seth Lugo in his current form. So give me the Rangers on the money line. Next up, we've got the Dodgers and the Rockies. We've got Emmett Sheehan and Austin Gomber as the starters. Now, Sheehan doesn't have a lot of Major League experience, but he does have 2 starts at Coors Field under his belt. Those were back in 2023, his rookie campaign, and both of those outings were really stellar. I mean, his first game at Coors was on June 29th, only his 3rd start at the Major League level. 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts. You'll take that all day long at Coors. 14-3 victory for the Dodgers. Then his next start at Coors back on September 27th of 2023, 6 innings, 2 runs, 10 strikeouts in an 8-2 Dodgers win. So 2 wins, 2 blowout wins. I think the Dodgers can get to Austin Gomber. They've seen plenty of Gomber over the years, and they've got good numbers against them. I think Sheehan pitches well, and the Dodgers win this game and cover that extended run line and land 2.5 runs. Next up, we've got the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Los Angeles Angels. We've got Hunter Green and Kyle Hendricks as the projected starters. Now, when I look at this game, obviously Hunter Green is a much better starting pitcher, but for me, this is an Angels team that's quite underrated in terms of their power numbers on the season, both against righties and lefties, and they strike out a ton. So Hunter Green should be able to rack up the strikeouts in this start, but I think could get in trouble with a home run or two in this game on the road, where we've seen him struggle in the past, giving up sharp contact this season and in previous years. And, I'm looking at, last week we took Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso to hit a home run. This game, I like Zach Neto to hit a home run against Hunter Green. I wouldn't be shocked to see a leadoff home run for Neto in this game, as Neto in the past has been known to be a lefty killer as a right-handed batter, but this year he's got much better numbers against righties with an 828 OPS and 15 of his 21 home runs against right-handed pitching, which I think is great for his career to be a more balanced hitter. But I think Neto can get to Green. There's some other candidates. Travis d'Arnaud has a home run against Green in the past. If he's in the lineup, he could be worth a look. But I think Kyle Hendricks can put together a decent enough outing to keep the Angels competitive in this game. He's got good numbers against the current Reds lineup. He had a sub-2 ERA against Cincinnati last year as a member of the Chicago Cubs. So I think the Angels at this kind of price are the play. I don't really love either of these bullpens. So give me the Angels in a game that I think is more of a coin flip. I'm going to take the home dog all the time. And I like Zach Neto to hit a home run in this one as well. Next up, we've got the Guardians and the Diamondbacks. We've got Tanner Bybee and Eduardo Rodriguez as the starters. Now, Rodriguez has struggled this season. He's been very inconsistent. He's coming off one of his best starts of the year. He's facing a Guardians lineup that's not been great against lefties in the month of August. Tanner Bybee's got an ERA above 5.5 on the road this year. He's given up at least 4 runs in 3 of his last 4 games with a lot of sharp contact and not great control to go with it. I'm going to roll the Diamondbacks in the first 5 innings. I think Cleveland has a better bullpen, so give me the Diamondbacks in the first 5. And the final game for Tuesday's card, we've got the Giants and the Padres. We've got Kai-Wei Tang and Nick Pivetta as the starters. We saw the same pitching matchup last week. That was an 11-1 Padres win, blowout win. I got to roll with San Diego again in this one on the run line. Pivetta, 6 2/3, a 1-run ball against San Francisco. Tang gave up 6 earned runs in an inning and 2/3 with 4 walks given up and no strikeouts. I think Pivetta is the much better option to start this game. I think the Padres are the better bullpen, the better lineup to go with it. I think this is the year of the veteran pitcher. I mean, we see guys like Nick Pivetta, Jose Quintana, Matthew Boyd, obviously Max Scherzer in his age 41 season, putting together great years. Pivetta, this has been his best season by far at the major league level, around a strikeout per inning. The home run ball hasn't been an issue for him. It's kind of crazy. I mean, we talk about Paul Skeens and Jacob Mizorowski and even, recently Nolan McLean for the New York Mets, the young pitchers, the pitchers of the future at the major league level, and for good reason. But look at these veterans like Pivetta putting together great campaigns. I'm going to roll with San Diego in this one on the run line. And that's it. Those are the games for Tuesday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.